Hello, Nim. Thank you so much for the attendance. Hello from the outdoors. Oh my god. You're never gonna believe it. We're playing a game called Look Outside today. So surely that means the outdoors are safe, right? Surely. I'll take this song. It's called Story of the End by Burn the Ballroom. Something in the rafters whispers everything's alright. Story of the end. My favorite verse is coming up. Jesus and drag dances with war. And you swear you've seen this scene before. Yes, you're welcome. Through the door. The choir knit the pieces, and the master cut the lights. Something in the rafters whispered everything's alright. Up the prophets. Did I recognize the vocalist? Yeah, Burn the Ballroom makes some pretty like theatrical music, I guess. Like there's a story in there. Hello, Dejor. How you doing? There was a Gravity Falls animation with Whisper and Pacifica and Belle. Not romantic, obviously, but it scratched my brain about Burn the Ballroom. Ooh, I'm good. My vacation starts today. How are you? Yo, vacation! I have not watched Sinners, no. I just haven't gotten around to it, honestly. Ooh, guys, I'm on the part of the pattern where I actually have to pay attention. Ooh, alright, here we go. Knit 2. Okay. Turn back. Knit 2. Turn right. Wait, hold on. Hold on. What does that mean? Happy stream, happy streamable tier. Hello, Jag. How you doing? I don't know who's singing, but I love this. It is the Churchyard Ghost. Ooh, hello. How's everyone doing? Guys, so today we're going to be finishing. Guys, I need to actually pay attention to what that pattern is telling me to do in like 3 seconds. But, I'm making a dishcloth. We're gonna finish. Yeah, I just googled them, so I'm grateful for the confirmation. Thank you. Yes, 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 yes. So we're gonna finish what football looks like in the future because I did not finish that last week. We only have 4 chapters left, so that shouldn't take too long. And then we're gonna play a game called Look Outside because I've decided that we're bringing back Fright Fridays. So Look Outside is a game that I got when it came out, and apparently that was a year ago. Oops. But it's like a pixel horror game, RPG. It looks cool. Apparently there's multiple endings. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do today. There's 152 achievements. Holy moly. Holy moly. But first I'm gonna figure out this pattern. How is everyone else doing? What did I do yesterday? After stream. I made dinner. I made quiche. The quiche was really good. What else did I do? My friend was drawing in a VC. Played a little bit of Minecraft. That's kind of it. I don't understand what this pattern just asked me to do. I'm gonna be really honest, guys. Cause I was here and it says, okay, knit your plain row and then knit 2. Turn back. Knit 2. Okay. Turn right. I don't know what it means by that. Does it just want me to knit off of this again? Turn right. Then why would it say knit 2 and then knit to end? I'm just gonna... I wrote yesterday, also I found a copy of Journal 3. Yo! Yo! Turn back time! Yikes. I have a Journal 3. It's on my bookshelf now. That is awesome. That's also something I need to do. I need to do writing. I need to do writing and editing. That's what I need to do, actually. And I told Bodo, I was like, Bodo, surely I will edit after stream. And he was like, are we sure about that? And, so I don't know. These are short rows. If you are unsure of how to make them, please see knittinghelp.com for an instructional video. I think I'll be okay. It's how to make pointy corners, apparently. That's what it's telling me. Send you what I wrote before we switched to gaming. Oh, yo, let's go. I'm gonna... Guys, so okay, so I'll tell you guys the story of why I'm doing this. So, basically, there are 2... I've only been to 1 because 1 was being, like, under construction. But there are 2, in my little town, art exchanges. So there's these little... If you guys have ever seen, like, little libraries where there's, like, these little, like, bookshelves in front of people's houses, and then people, like, will, like, you could leave a book and you could take a book. It's like that, but for art. And they're pretty cool. And I have gotten a thing from them. And then I got this today, actually, from one. Ooh, look at this. Look how pretty that is. For free! So I've decided I have to make some stuff for the art exchange things. So I was like, what can I do that is, like, functional, but, like, you know. Imagine being under construction. Couldn't be me. I'm fully built. Hi, Bunny! Bunny, it's been a bajillion years! Okay, so turn. Knit 2. Turn. Knit 2. Turn. Did that make pointy corners? I don't know. Imagine this me in the studio, okay? Hoden crashing. I like how everything is misspelled. I believe in you. The school's running out of memory. Uh-oh. Oh, Houdini crashing the animation program. Okay, I'm catching on. Ducks unaligned. Spaghetti head. Guys, is this a form of racism because I'm Italian? Guys, is this a hate crime? No food in my house because spring break. Awesome. Okay, guys, we need to pay attention again. You would get hate crimed. What the f is that supposed to mean? Oh, right. Okay, knit till last 5. Anyways. Yeah, you got the meat sauce and noodle colors. So, is it a hate crime because I'm Italian, or... like, is it like... I don't know if I like being called Spaghetti Head. I get the joke, though. Hi, Mischief, how you doing? It's a hate crime because you look like spaghetti, I guess. Funny, why is every single word spelt wrong? Switching devices. Switching teams. What is happening? Doing great, unlike Bunny, apparently. I am panic texting on my phone. I understand. Okay, I thought, like, something was maybe, I don't know, happening? I don't know. Actively having a stroke. I see. I understand. Bunny, you're doing so great. Everything is gonna be so fine. It's spring break. Okay. We did it. Okay, till last 5. Okay, so we knit together. And then we do yarn over. And then we do a knit together. And then we knit 1. Continue decreasing until you have 9 stitches. That's awesome. Okay, we can put that away now. It's a hate crime if you want it to be. Okay, fair enough, Neon. Oh, I did get... Had my final hand in on Wednesday. Okay, I need 1 final assignment. Let's go! You could do it, yeah! And then I get to... kill myself, I guess. I don't know what do people do on spring break. Sleep. Party sometimes. Go on a vacation. I don't know. Hang out. Go for a walk. I don't know. Yeah. Wake up at 1 p.m., go to a cafe, get a coffee, and sit there until dinner, and then have dinner, and then go back home and sleep. That, you could do that. you can visit all of your friends who live in the same city. Not me though. I don't live in the same city. You could visit me though if you wanted to. You want to come to a knitting club so bad. Oh, okay. Why would I? Because you're really cool and you do crochet and you could come and visit me and also do crochet. Bro's going to visit the man. I know that. I know. Guess who I heard it from? The man. Wish someone would visit me. That's what I'm saying! Why does everyone know my life? Bunny. It's crazy, but like in general, I think your friends should know like at least a little bit about your life. And I do happen to be friends with both of you. So like I can piece the things together. Oh, well, now Bunny, now to be fair, the only things I know about your life are that this guy exists and who he is and that you're in animation school, if that makes you feel better. Um, it'd be like really cool if like, oh, it's fine, when it's you, but why does Trashy know? I have some really terrible news in that, Trashy is my friend, so like, I do talk to him about stuff that happened. Especially when, like, the guy went to go watch Iron Lung with us. And I was talking to Trashy and my other friends about going to watch Iron Lung. So. You know? I don't think that's when he found out, though. I feel like he's known the whole time. Because I've known the whole time. Anyways. Going off the grid for the fun of it. No, take me with you. No, please. That's my plan. It's Will Wood! I know that guy. He's going on tour. Can I go to his shows? No. Because they're all on the East Coast. Guys, I am going to finish what football looks like in the future. Rip, I know, dude. You know what's actually crazy is I'm going to the East Coast like 2 weeks before the concert date. So it's like worse because if it was like, oh, it's the East Coast and it's in October, then it's like, okay, then I can like plan to go to the East Coast twice. But I can't go to the East Coast twice in the same month. Yeah. Why do I keep getting random men? I don't know. Sad? Yeah. It is kind of sad. Because it's like, it's a Willwood and the Tapeworm show, which means it's full concert and not a comedy show, and I want to go to a concert. I want to go to a concert. So I'm just gonna hope and pray that he drags the entire band to the West Coast or adds more dates. I don't know. What you doing in the Eastern lands? I'm visiting friends. And I'm also going to, the convention in DC. I don't think I caught an actual fish. Oh my god. I was watching a guy earlier and he was ranking chatters on a tier list and he made a whole new tier for me called Piss Tier. I figured this chat would be proud. Now why were you on the Piss Tier though? What did you do? What did you do? I know that guy. Hi Mel, how you doing? Right, I forgot about the DC con. Yes. Nothing? Hi. Guys, oh my god, almost all of my wives are here. This is crazy. Hi, Chai! How you doing? Oh. I'm playing Overwatch. Oh my god. Guys, see, because Mel didn't want to watch Soul Eater with me. It's okay, we'll watch Soul Eater later, surely. So I'm alright, small headache, but I bought fabric today. Yo! Not true, yeah, we will. We will watch later, I promise. Alright. Yippee! My wife doesn't hate me. Yippee! The whole cult- Guys, people are getting crazy fish today. Hi, Nutsman System, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Because, Mel, here's the plan. The plan is I'm gonna watch Soul Eater, and I'm going to draw our various friends as Meisters and weapons, I think. I think that's the plan. Because I've watched Soul Eater, right? Like, and you've watched Soul Eater, so I think it'd be quite fun. I'm supposed to be crocheting my friend her birthday present, but, like, nah, bro, I don't wanna. Oh. Oh. Been watching, Witch Hat, Atelier, and JJK, and, like... Well, dude, do I get to be a sniper rifle? I don't know. I am drawing... I can tell you the people who I'm drawing specifically. I am drawing Mel and their friend. And then separately, I'm drawing Trashy, Bodo, and me. That's it. Because those are the people we... we talked about it yesterday. I did forget captions. It's entirely an installation fee. And say, au revoir. Nobody's been by the rents for what? For what? For what it's worth. If it was going to kill you, boy, it would have by now. Alright, the captions are on. I haven't thought of Soul Eater in a hot sec. That was a good series. Yes, chat Ultra hates me. No! That was not the thing. I'm not drawing all of my friends. I have too many. I was just drawing the people who are in the conversation that I was having about Soul Eater. Would Bishop be a sniper rifle? I actually think you would be, actually. I have been designated, I want to be a dildo bat. That's so cool for you. I've been designated never a weapon. Like, because, okay, so, like, Mel and I were kind of talking about this, because in the VC we were the only people who had actually watched Soul Eater. And I was like, okay, would I be the weapon? Would I be a weapon or a Meister? And Mel was like, oh, I think it depends on you, who you're paired with. And I was like, that's fair. But then I'm thinking of like every single friend that I have, and there is no friend I think that I would be the weapon. I cannot think of any pairing of any of my friends where I am the weapon. And it's like, rest in peace, my granny. She got hit by a bazooka. No, you can't do that, Whiteout! Do you know how many times I've heard that in the VC? And it's just random. Why would you do that to me? I'll try to be a weapon. A very, very... No, you'd be a good weapon. Actually, wait. You'd be the weapon with hack 2. Wait, hold on. No, wait, hold on. No, you're correct about that, but I don't know what the weapon would be. I think you would be my weapon. Try, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be awesome. That would be something weird. Oh, thanks, guys. Also, fish! Fish for a try. Womp. Thank you so much for the 3-string streak. But I would. No, you would be an awesome weapon. I just don't know what it would be. It'd probably be... I'm thinking butterfly knife, Bunny. I'm thinking, like, a butterfly knife. Something weird. Okay, what about... You know that, like, it's not a spear, but it kind of looks like a spear? It's a long stick with a blade on the end. But it's, like, only half of the stick. No. It's a Japanese weapon. Listen, I am small and I just got a feisty mouth. You're my scary dog privilege wife. I'm the scary dog wife? That's awesome. Excellent news for me. That's awesome. But I'm the weapon? I don't know. Anyway. My recent fun thing is me accepting I'd be like a background character who just wants to survive in literally any series with the tendency of joining cults. That's awesome, buddy. Javelin. We talking bolt action, bullpup, or semi-auto? For the sniper rifle, I have no idea. Under what weapon would I be? I don't know! Never been complimented more than being called a butterfly knife. I think it'd be a butterfly knife. I mean, I think it would work. You're strong and smart and built. I'm small and squishy and just loud. So I'm the weapon. Mischief is a bazooka. Lol. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me look up what a Yari is, and then maybe that is in fact what it is. Oh my god, yes! Whiteout, yes! Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Oh my god. This weapon. So in the only pairing where I am in fact the weapon, this is the weapon. I think that would... Yeah. I think that would match, like, Hakatu Man as well. Yeah. Thank you for the lurk! Anyway, this is amazing news. Thank you for the weapon name. This is excellent. You see why I couldn't, like, figure out what the effing... how to explain what this was? It's like, yeah, it's basically a spear, but it's, like, not a spear. You know what I mean? So you don't think I could be a weapon for anyone unless I was some kind of, intrigue poison thing or an explosive? You can be a gun. I need to do the thing when I lurked. It did. Maybe it didn't. Oh, it was... I don't know. Don't worry about it. Alright, guys, we're going to, finish what football looks like in the future, and then we're gonna play Look Outside. Let me go to the playlist that I was listening to before. My battery is low and it's getting dark. I think I was like halfway through this chapter, so like I'm just gonna start from where I was. A shotgun. Yeah! See, I approve of this. I'm gonna move chat. Chat, you're once again in the way. There you go. Do you write poetry? I don't, actually. I'm actually, like, really bad at writing poetry, specifically. Like, really bad at the, like, purple prose that you kind of need for poetry. I'm, like, actually, like, really bad at poetry, specifically. If I was to be a weapon, I'd probably be an MG42. Uh-huh. Hi, Jupiter. Alright, here we go. Who the F is that? Ben! I don't know how to say the rest of your name. I'm so sorry. I'm really dyslexic. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. I'm one of the really resident writers here. There you go. Mischief writes poetry. Not me, though. Look funny to you? Yeah. Well, a couple of days back, I ran up into a twister that allowed me to... Oh, yeah, I saw it. We were watching. Oh, fun. Yes, that twister blew me a few miles north. Good thing, too, because, Iowa had me about totally surrounded. They would have tackled me for sure, and then I'd be back to the grind. You tuned in at about the right time. This game's been real slow in parts. We'll spend a week grinding out a 1-mile drive, then we turn it over on downs, repeat over and over. Getting the sort of open field I got right now is a real luxury. But more to your point, I really just trying to go where they're not. They've got defenders patrolling the end zones, but they're not as concentrated up here. I'm about 8,000 yards from the river now. I'm really close. This afternoon, I'll probably make a break for it. It seems weird to me that you'd want to be so close to a town. It's usually my game plan whenever I'm in a cross-country game like this one, especially somewhere like Nebraska. If I'm out in the middle of nowhere, I stick out, right? So someone could spot me from from half a mile off. And of course, if I'm in town, there are lots of eyes and ears on me, and unless it's a real friendly town, word gets around. So I like to stay in the periphery, just outside of town. That's where they forget to look. This is too far from my idea of football. Football is different things to different people. I see this kind of football, the open world kind, as an end state. The old grind football, the 100-yard kind, was basically just training wheels. The game was always all about the field, of course, the ground, the earth. And it's kind of like, here, take this little boring, flat, grassy rectangle and prove you can really know it and understand it. I need to turn the volume off on the fish. 18 streams, holy bananas, let's go! If I was a Meister, I'd definitely pull... What does that mean? Pull to your bright, that's just me. And they spent hundreds of years getting to know the hell out of it. And now, to me, football is a further experience in getting to know and love this world, this planet, you know? The actual ground. It's so rich with history, it's just embarrassing. I've been thinking the same thing. You know, I was telling someone just the other day that I can barely walk 10 feet without sticking my foot into some kind of sacred ground where something special happened. Maybe a week ago, maybe 10,000 years ago. You see right over there, a couple hundred yards from where I'm standing? That's where El Caprone's brother lived. You know who El Caprone is? Hold on. Yeah. His brother lived there. He was a prohibition agent for the government. Can you believe that? All this time, his brother was the most famous bootlegger in America, and here he was doing the exact opposite. At war with each other like they were Greek gods or something. And of course, the town's named after Homer. Can't make that up. It's a funny world. So they're not here anymore. Oh, no, no. They passed long before the moment, you know, when people stopped passing on. I was just thinking about people from back then. The people who lived just a little too soon to live forever. It's not fair. It's not. It's really not. You ever think about those people? I do. I think about them often. I was almost one of them. Really? I was about the last person in the world you would expect to see in front of you now. Star running back, I was not. A little after my 70th birthday, I got sick. Oh. And it was hard. It was painful. I was starting to think, well, pretty soon's probably going to be my time. I couldn't get out of the house a whole lot. My daughter would come to visit. She was great. But she can only be there some of the time. So a lot of the time, I'd just sit in my living room and watch TV. Guess what turned 6 today? What turned 6 today? I have not. Oh. Take a wild guess at what is now 6 years old. Oh, I'm so scared. Something to do with the Dream SMP. I can feel it in my bones. I gotta run, try to have a good stream. Bye, Mischief! Good luck today. I'll come back later. All good. Hang on, being kidnapped. Ah! I'm so sorry. There's ads. I will finish this. Hi! Are we back? No, we're not back. Come back to me. Hi, 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 hi! Come back! My community is back! This is epic. Thank you, Stream Elements. Welcome back, everyone. So a lot of the time, I'd just sit in my living room and watch TV. I started to watch football, and I'd kind of grown up with it a little, but tell you the truth, I hadn't usually been much of a fan. But I got fixed up with a little satellite dish, and I'd watch it every Sunday. I watched the Browns a lot. Oh, they're good. You were made in 1968? Yeah. You better check your residual memory. Okay. Oh, wow. I started watching them because my grandpa was always a big fan. They were bad. They just stunk up the field every week. I think in 2026, they went 315, something like that. I love that about them. Because, you know, I'd flip around all the channels on the satellite box, and all the shows were about people winning, people succeeding, people getting happy endings. And then even in sports, you know, even if a team was having a bad year, it was just kind of their turn to be bad. And in a few years, it'd be good again. And I'm sitting on my sofa thinking, a lot of good that does me. I don't know anything about that kind of life. I don't need to see all these stories when I'm sitting in this dusty little house with an oxygen tank. Just don't need it. But the Browns, I knew they'd always be there. They would always lose. I got up every morning. It hurt. And at night, I'd go to bed. They'd get up every Sunday, get the tar beat out of them. They'd show up the next Sunday to do it again. I love that. I love them. I felt like one of them. Did they ever win the championships? The Super Bowl? What? Oh, yeah. Ha, no, they never did. The miracle that didn't happen for them happened for me. I remember they gave me 3 to 6 months. Well, 3 months passed, then 6. And then they drive me to the doctors, and the doctor's like, this is not adding up. So they send me to a hospital in the city, run all kinds of tests, and they're like, well, it's happening to you too. And I said, what? And they said, nothing. Nothing? Nothing. I was getting better. Not even a few years later, I was all the way back to my old self. Those were wild days, for all of us, for everybody. They were wild days. And there's no way to know, of course, but I feel like that team carried me that far. That day was the finish line. I think they helped me carry me there. I've been thinking about what that's like, not existing, I mean. Well, I guess we'll never know. Ten and Juice are really broken up about the bulb. I know. I was sad to hear about it. Truly tragic. It meant a lot to me. I can only imagine what y'all must be going through. They're more sad about it than me. It's like they're not used to saying goodbye to anything. No, none of us are. Best problem to have, I suppose. I guess so. You know, my grandpa had this big neon sign he always had in the family room. It said, Go Browns, on it in big letters, and had that brown helmet. I think he brought it home from one of his buddies at the bar or something. Couldn't say for sure. My grandma thought it looked tacky. I remember she'd always say, you can turn that thing on after I go to bed. That was the compromise. The night he passed away, I was staying the night. My grandma woke up in the middle of the night and said a neighbor was coming by to watch me, that grandpa had passed on. They had already taken him away, and in the middle of everybody's running around, there were a few minutes there where I was just there by myself in the family room, and the sign was the only thing on. And it just softly lit up the room in this beautiful sort of yellow, orangey brown. I was 8 years old then, and I remember just kind of standing there looking at the light and the room. And you know what I thought? I remember thinking how strange it was that the light was still on. I thought that, well, if he was gone, then the light he switched on should have turned off. That as soon as he went, everything should go with him. But there it was, though, just glowing. I might dream. Also, Dream SMP is officially 6. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought you were gonna say. Oh! What? What? I can't see the video? Oh, surely. What? Wayback Machine, please. Boo! I guess we go to New York City. We're going to New York City. Here's New York City. It's under the water. It's underwater. Help, I am under the water. Hello, you've reached Emily. Tie. Babe, it was the wrong ball. It was a tie ball. Wait, tied Damer? Yep. And he said there was gonna be, yep, the older dealer said, yeah, sure, there's a Coy Damer autograph ball this guy's grandpa used to have, so I made a dive into Queens, right address and everything. Oh no. Everything was there like he said it was, but it was a Ty Damer autograph. Oh no, Jason, oh my god. Effing figures. It figures. Babe, I'm so sorry. Man, it was too bad. If only it was a tie game, then it'd be a tie game. Yeah. You get it? Get what? Jesus, the joke. I was telling a joke. Oh. Tie game, you know? God, you are Jasoning out. Huh, sorry. How are you feeling? Kind of relieved, I guess, actually? This game's probably over. This was my shot. Well, you still got 400 years. Man, you know this could have been a game. Like a great game. If Mike hadn't burned up those 17. Man. Because it's like, okay, this was a genius design for a game, and I know we've talked about this a million times. We talked about everything a million times, baby. But like, it's so rare to be able to draw up a game around uncertainty. I mean, how many football has quite never autographed? Nobody really knows. I bet he doesn't even know. So in the process of playing this game, we figure out that number, and once we know, we can't really play the same game again. This was special. We can't replay it. You know what it's like? I was just reading about this morning. It's like a Fermi problem. What's that? It's named after this guy named Fermi. I can't pronounce these names. I'm so sorry. He was this famous mathematician, and he would ask questions like the big ones, like how many piano tuners are there in Chicago? Huh. So how do you answer that without actually going and counting, right? Well, you ask a lot of little questions that kind of hack away at the answer. Questions like, okay, first off, how many pianos do you think there are in Chicago? And then it's like, well, what percentage of people actually own a piano? So you estimate the number of people who, you know, would have been to their house and you know they have a piano, and then divide that by the total number of people's houses you've been to. Huh. I'm gonna say let's just keep it easy. 1 in 100 homes has a piano in it? Sure, we'll use that. And the population of Chicago is like 3 billion. 3 billion? 3 million. 3 million. You said billion. I swear you said billion. Well, whatever. You know I meant million. So that would mean there are 30,000 pianos in Chicago. Uh-huh. And there are 3 million people in Chicago, not 3 million homes. You're probably looking at it, I don't know, 1 million homes maybe? There's like 3 people per home. But then you have to think about the number of Chicago homes that could actually accommodate a piano, probably fewer than usual. There you go. Now you're getting the game. Man, where did you read about that? Wikipedia? You rabbit holing again? Yep. God, I can't believe I didn't know about that until now. It basically describes exactly what I've spent all these years doing. I swear I'll never get to the bottom of Wikipedia, or at least I'll take a long time. You know they've started putting in entries for apartment histories? Lori was telling me about it. What do you mean? Like the history of an apartment. Like you can type in 123 whatever street apartment 3, and it'd be this enormous history of everything that ever happened in that apartment. Ah, I thought it was kind of cool. So how's New York? It's under the effing water. Rip, I guess. It's good. I decided to take a swim over to Manhattan. It's on a rooftop. I'm on a rooftop now. Oh, that's a hell of a swim. It is. I'd forgotten. It's easy to think, especially as an out-of-towner, it's easy to think, well, I'll just stop at a skyscraper so often and catch my breath. But there's this huge chunk of it between downtown and midtown that's almost totally below the waterline. There just aren't that many tall buildings. You know, actually, I was thinking I could design a pretty good game here. Really? I mean, I just thought of it today. I haven't really... Tell me. Okay, well, the end zones would be Midtown and Downtown, right? Like maybe Brady Park and Bryan Park would be the 2 end zones. Maybe 20 players to a side, and they all get a speedboat. Oh. So obviously, with all the water in between, the middle of the field would be some pretty wide open play, but around the end zones, you'd get all hairy because you basically have to sail around those city blocks. But at the same time, you could kind of use them too. Take crazy routes to throw off your tacklers. So the blocks would block for you. See, yes, and also it fits thematically because New York City grid was literally called grid iron when they drew it up in the early 1800s, way before there was even football. So it's all perfect fit. You always have to get cute, always. I've got an idea. Yep. Make the ball really heavy. Make it out of lead or something. So hey, how do you tackle somebody? Probably just by ramming your speedboat right into them. They'd tackle it if they fall in the water. Okay, so if they fumble, the ball's really heavy, so it doesn't float. It sinks to the bottom. So all of a sudden, the game turns into a diving expedition. Oh, wow, I love it. See, that's why that's why you're married to a 386-time TCL most valuable player. There you go. Or the skyscraper part of the field? Sure, I guess so. I don't think this game would have been as fun back in the day, you know, before this place sunk. It was just a bunch of ground. Way more interesting when there's just no open field. Hi, Twit. What? We're reading, basically a story that someone wrote, in 2018, I think, called What Football Will Look Like in the Future. It's about immortality, essentially. But I read most of it at a stream like 2 weeks ago, so I'm just finishing it now. So if you're confused, don't worry about it. We're going to be playing a video game soon. You should write that game. Seriously, you've got a good one. Maybe I will. Although I'd have to drive people out to New York to play it. I don't know how many takers I'd get. Ugh. I told you the computer part story, right? The what? New York? Computer parts? Not ringing a bell? If you have, I don't remember. Oh god, there's no way I haven't told you, but whatever. Whatever, okay, I have to tell you the computer parts story. Okay, alright. So an old teammate of mine told me this story. I guess back in 2000 or something, he was house sitting for his uncle. His uncle had this apartment in Tribeca. He worked for the NFL. He didn't know what his uncle did for the NFL exactly, but he made good money. Well, he was in Tribeca, I'd bet so. Right? I know. So at this point, the kid is like 19. And when you're 19, obviously it's like the dream of a lifetime to go visit New York City and have some something as a place all to yourself. Oh, absolutely. So he's there for like a few days, and all of a sudden he gets a call from his uncle. And his uncle is like, listen, you've got to do something for me. You've got to take some stuff that's in my freezer and take it to my office on Park Avenue. And he was like, can't you send someone else to do it? And he's like, no, it's kind of a secret. I kind of effed something up, and I just got busy and never got around to bringing it to the office, and now they're wondering where it is. So you need to meet my buddy there and deliver it to him. I'd have someone else do it if I could, but I'm in a jam or whatever. Okay? So he's like, okay. And he looks in the freezer, and since it's this swanky apartment, he's got a full-size standing freezer. It's not just your regular fridge freezer things. Sure. And he opens it up, and it's full of piss. What? It's full of actual piss. It's full of all these little vials of urine samples. What the F? So it turns out that his uncle is an official in charge of collecting urine samples from NFL players. He just keeps them at his place? I guess, I don't know. Apparently he was kind of an F-up or something, and I guess he just thought it was just as good as storing them in the office, and he just never got around to testing them. So that ends up with him having literally an entire freezer full of NFL piss. Holy... So this kid doesn't really know what to do. He gets the huge rolling suitcase he travels with, and he just starts dumping the vials in there. And then he heads to the subway. He gets off at some station in Midtown, and his suitcase is apparently really heavy, because I mean it's filled with liquid. And then he's rushing up the subway steps. He can hear the glass rattling around and breaking. So I mean, this entire plan is going to hell. Oh man, oh no. And he was in one those stations where you have to go up like 3 different sets of stairs, and the last one he's halfway up, and some guy asks him like, hey, you want me to help you with that? So he grabs the other end and helps him carry it up. See, New Yorkers have always had this bad reputation. I always thought everyone was really cool there. Shh, shush. Okay. So they're halfway up the stairs, and the guy asks him, damn, this thing is heavy. What the hell do you have in here anyway? And of course, he's not about to tell him it's full of urine samples, so he just blurts out, computer parts. Computer parts. Yeah, and then so immediately, without a second of hesitation, the guy hits him in the face and runs off with the bag. And he told me the sight of him running off with the bag in a hurry couldn't wait to make off with it. God, that's too good. That is too good. I'm like positive you never told me that one. It's weird to be here. That's kind of funny. I saw this mural today. It was all over the city, just diving and looking at stuff, and this big painting on the side of a building. It was all the way below the waterline, a little bit worn away, but it was still pretty good shape considering. What was it? It was like this painting of a mother. I guess it was a mother holding her baby. Never cried underwater before. Babe, are you okay? Yeah. I don't know if this is gonna come out right. I mean, we got here, you know? We got there. We grew up thinking one day it will be our time to go, and it just never was. It never was. Going under the water is like going back through time. Everything is like it was. All the buildings were built, all the cars were neatly parked, all the garbage cans were bolted to the sidewalk by people who were afraid to die. It was meticulous craftsmanship of terrified people. We didn't know we would have each other for good. Back then there was real fear, real worry. The world was all effed up. I remember feeling so alone, like I was the only one fighting it. We were all in it together, though. Every stranger you ever met, they were fighting the very same fight you were. Of course, you didn't talk about it with them, but all of us saw that terror, the terror any mortal person has. That terror wasn't natural. No other creature in the universe woke up every morning knowing it was guaranteed to die one day. Just us. Nobody would have to live with that. It's too much. It isn't right. No one ever should have to bear it. But we did. We all stared it down and kept on going, and we did it together. We were all in it together. It felt lonely, but we were never alone. We all had each other, no matter how often we forgot it. All of us. We always had each other. What if I sob and cry? What if I sob and cry? I think this is the last chapter, by the way. So what do you think? You ready for bed? I'm gonna wake up, right? Promise? Promise. Not sure when, but I promise. Okay, yeah, I'm ready. How much time do I have left? Right about a minute, looks like. 1 minute, huh? Okay, I can do this. First, don't worry about dying due to rising sea levels. Everyone was safely relocated, and I'm very happy to report that folks in places like Houston and Louisiana and Savannah were able to preserve their cultures everywhere in the country. Second, you may have noticed that Maine's new border was strangely preserved in a straight line. That's because the Canadians, being slightly more forward thinkers, dispatched aid directly to the states to build a retaining wall. Third, the rest of the world is basically carrying on just fine. While it is tragic that much of the Caribbean was lost, I am relieved to report to you that they were safely relocated and their culture remains alive and robust to this day. Fourth, Ken really should have told you at the onset that in the process of establishing our first contact with you, it would require lots and lots of waiting. That experience was unfair to you, and due to a very bad oversight on our part, she feels bad about it, and so do I. And we were both sorry. Fifth, no. For the millionth time, we really do not know why humans stopped aging. 6. Ten's wording was a little clumsy with regards to people stopped aging. To clarify, babies in the womb in 2026 were indeed born and grew into adults, and all of the children grew into adults as well. 7. I know we didn't really actually look at any people, but thanks to medical technologies, people can essentially be whatever age they feel like between 20-ish and 100-ish. So people choose to be old. They just like it that way. It's great. 8th, we're not in some kind of simulation or matrix or whatever, and even if we were, there'd be no way to prove it. So who gives a 9th? I know your residual data indicates to you that the universe will eventually be ended via heat death. Good news, that's bull, and that we thought was true in the 20th century, before we had thousands more years to study it. The Earth is always going to be there, because 10th, they figured out how to keep the sun going perpetually. 11th, all the old buildings on Earth are still standing because they were built really well and new technologies help keep them in good shape. 12th, that cop in Nebraska was there because he just decided it was his role. There's still some things like petty theft or whatever going on. But these people are the people of the 20th and 21st centuries, and they like the world they built, and they kept these seemingly rotund roles that intact because they were who they are. 13th, changing open geography aside, state borders remain identical for the same reason. 14th, no, you are never going to die, and neither will we. 15th, time's almost up. F, well, I got pretty far. I love you guys. I love you too. Love y'all too. I need to make a partition in my data storage. This is the end, right? The end of this story? You are always at the end. It's a free play, buddy. Clock's all 0. It's after the end of the world. Good night. Oh wait, it's a video. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Has not made contact with Earth since 1986. It is almost certainly not operational, but is still very likely to still exist. Last sent signals to Earth in 2003. It is believed to be 10 billion miles from Earth and traveling. Or Jupiter Ice Moon Explorers currently being deployed by the European Space Agency. It is scheduled to launch in 2022. Hey guys, did that actually launch? Because I don't know if it actually launched. Because remember, this was made before COVID. If it launched per what I can see, that's awesome. Oh, we spinning. This is just dragged past the ARG, actually. A drag path etched into the surface as evidence. I left there on purpose, a sad sack hanging on the surface. Can you find me? You know? Oh my god. The end. Oh wait, what if I cry? That's such a good story, and it's crazy that I did not, you know, read that when it first came out. That's awesome. Wow. If you guys just came here and didn't read that entire thing, it still exists. It's online. If you look up what football looks like in the future, it will be there. I'm pretty sure that video that's like not there is probably available with the Wayback Machine, because the Wayback Machine has like a bajillion copies of this this story. Also, there is a sequel to this story. There's a sequel to this story that was being written during COVID, but it's not finished. It was being like put on a schedule in the same way that this was, and then it kind of stopped. So yeah, writing in your DMs. Oh.